Good morning, America. This is Dr. Churi. And first of all, thank you for coming back to my channel. I am in the Arizona and today it's raining. That's going to be good and bring the temperature down. All right, as always, my statement. Okay, by now you should know if you've been following me for a while. I am the first cosmic cop on planet Earth, teaching humanity to respect God, cosmic design, understand Jesus' cosmic ministry, and the reality of extraterrestrials. Those who are blessing our lives and those who are cursing our lives. All right, so if you did not do it, go to drchuri.com and click on Alien Contactee from Tubi. All you have to do is to put your date of birth and you'll understand a little bit more about some of those extraterrestrials' agenda. Okay, for now, if you took the time to read my newsletter, titled Virgin Galactic Deceptive Space Travel. Why deceptive? I'll tell you in a minute. First of all, the key words of that window was new beginning or ending of phases of lives. Okay, well, tell you a lot of things started and finished for me last few days, good and bad. That's the way it is. Life is a cast down process of change, my good friends. So, the new beginning was for Richard Branson, okay, to make a good use of his formidable technological advancement and went and touched the age of space. He only flew 50 miles above your head, my good friend. 50 freaking little miles above your head. That's a long way before he can go and fly 231.95 million miles needed to land a man on Mars. Again, my good friend, remember, I am into the future and I love science. I really do. I'm blown away of all those beautiful pictures that we are allowed and enjoying because of the technological advancement produced by our phenomenal scientific community. However, no man will ever fly past the moon orbit. That's me to know, and you know, you, the children of your grandchildren will find out. That is, if we are lucky to make it the next 40 years. All right. So I wish I had better news, but as far as I'm concerned, there's enough planes, enough cars, enough pollutions than to go to the age of spaces and put more mess than what we need out there. And I truly believe it's all these billionaires who have too much time and too much money to waste in their hand every day. If they were together, they could do a hell of a lot of good for Mother Earth. But we know the fact of the matter is astronauts who goes well past the 50 miles that Richard Branson experienced, they always come back with a very deep philosophical view of Mother Earth being so beautiful, the blue planet. They come back with a very deep sense of protection and love for our only spaceship, the only place we are allowed to live. This is God's higher order. Well, he went only 50 miles, so he could not have that wow moment. We need to protect Mother Earth and its very precious human cargo. It didn't have that, didn't go high enough. So if they were together, we could do a good job to help humanity and invest those trillions of dollars, which are often wasted in an explosion, okay, to help humanity, to help us. But that's how it is, you know. And believe me, I tell you again, I don't think God created the moon, Mars for Elon Musk or for Richard Branson whomever out there, who wants to promote their financial business. God created the stars and the heavens for a much deeper purpose, my friends. That's my view. If I was a billionaire, that would be the last thing I do. What I would do is to give a hit of a lot of people to start to develop a new way of propulsion so we don't poison Mother Earth, find new way to help those who are not privileged select to get an education, because knowledge is power, ignorance is evil. All these people that would kill you for $1, most of them are starving to death. They are not educated, and they become very, very much victimized by the reptilians who finally own their body, mind, and soul, forced to sell drugs, and at the end kill themselves or kill everybody with a machine gun. That's where you're at, my friends. So now, the title of this newsletter, of course, is SOS to the World, Deadly Plutonic Window, July 17. Now, I gave that date in my previous video. It might be in the previous one before. So I want people to understand that I'm predicting things. When I say the word predict, I'm preparing you for a specific, dramatic, deadly news, because this is the Plutonic window, and it is totally, completely unarguable. Now, you have my words of wisdom, like always. Crazy, infected people will become active. The police will be killed or kill innocent people. Reptilians, infected souls will become more active. Be very careful of what you say, what you do, where you go, or pay the consequence for the rest of your life. Okay. Avoid large gathering. Be ready for terrorism. May wake up call for some news from Russia, maybe cyber attack. As many cosmic and conscious human beings will not survive this deadly window. Now, remember the US Capitol invasion, including George Floyd, who lost his life. It happened during this type of deadly window. And that's why it's important, if you're a cop, if you know a cop, or if you work in security or at night, okay, please pass on these warnings. Help me to save precious lives, because that's all I'm trying to do when you look at it. All right, now, as always, you will have to come back, because I'm constantly updating. The news don't stop. I might just finish this video and bomb, a crazy lunatic guy start to shoot everybody in LA, for example. So I have to update it. So, and remember, any one of my video has something to teach you. Sometimes you see the title, oh my God, witchcraft, voodoo, oops, and then you're not going to go and look at it. But guess what? You did not do yourself a favor. You have lost something very important in that video that could help you to raise your psychical vibrations. But again, you know what? If you're a skeptic raised by educated idiot parents, okay, or if you're a religious fanatic, even worse, of course you're going to run away from me. So you landed on my work by accident, but there are no accidents. God led you to my work for a very specific reason. So if you see something, any of my video, take the time to listen. You'll get something at the end. I can only promise you that, because I know better at 71. All right, now, if you set enough, this shocking or new beginning windows is now over, and if you start to look at the news, you could see that this window is really much now in motions. Okay, so if you look at the news, drugs overdose death in 2020 hit highest number ever recorded by the CDC. That was in 2020. Imagine in 2021 and 2022, when the dance of evil is going to hit big time. So I'm talking about death and dramatic news. Here you go. Okay, now you can do the ostrich job and start to listen to nice music, go on TikTok and amuse yourself and entertain yourself, because you cannot handle Dr. Turi and the little truth. And that is your right. Don't get me wrong, but don't blame me. If you are unhappy, if you become part of the statistics, if because you don't understand this window, you're going to do stupid things and ending up dying. All right. Okay. Now, so in many ways, all this death news and all that nasty stuff depict why my business is exploding with referrals, okay? And why deeply souls, degenerated souls, are in constant need of my uplifting, healing, cosmic teaching and my guidance. Again, the logical mind will blame the pandemic, which is definitely playing its part, okay? Yet the general public does not know anything whatsoever about the reptilian effect. And sudden enough, this critical video, as you all know, since I predicted Trump would not be re-elected well before, okay, all his supporting base start to complain and they kick my butt. And the religious fanatic did the same because they thought they could help the world by getting rid of Dr. Choi. So like always, there is a link in the newsletter. Please click in it, okay, and ask Amazon Prime to have alien contactee being reinstated. That's the way I can help the rest of the world to understand something that is far-fetched, something that is so unreal, yet it is cursing the entire humanity. And the future will prove me right. When you finally will wake up and realize what Satan or the devil is all about. People don't understand life is all about two forces. You cannot have a day without a night, a front without a back, a man without a woman, God, devil, yin, yang. That's why you have two eyes, two arms, two legs, two sides of the brain. You dual, you split like United States. Now you have the reptilius, the negative reptilius. We could say, for example, negative, or depending where you stand in politics, the Republican, okay? And then you have the Democrats, okay, on the right side, or the beneficial, the wonderful Draconis. This is an example that I'm giving you. You will always have this fight between darkness and light, good and bad, right and wrong. And it, at the end, is a choice you have to make by applying the part of God in you, which is stronger than the reptiles and the dragon and all the stars. A choice, your free will to aim for love, understanding, respect, education, integrity. Aim for light. The positive, become part of the forces of light, and your life will change drastically. That is a given. This is how it works. Now, if you work for negativity, if you depress, if you hate people, if you hate life, now you're going to feed the reptilians with such a negative cosmic fluid negativity they need to survive in dark matter. I've been repeating that since forever, but I have to repeat myself so that each time I talk about it, you gather a little bit more understanding that you're not doomed. We're not doomed. Regardless of what I say, maybe we make it or we not make it in 40 years from now, if we're lucky in 40 years. Because that was my predictions on Coast to Coast many, many years ago when George and I and Tom, we were friends. Long time ago. All right, now, if you look at the news, the quatrain that I used, I use quatrain and obvious keywords to give you an idea of the type of news that's coming to us. Okay, raw power challenges police, deadly villain. And if you look at the news, chaos is spread in the South of America as authorities struggle to contain looting, violent mob. The word mob is there too. People are dying because of the reptilians, the insecurity, the injustice, the unbalance. San Francisco sees an increase in shooting assault. Well, it's normally in San Francisco. It's pretty much everywhere. The reptilians are gathering hell grounds, and I start to worry. But regardless, remember, regardless how deep and how negative and destructive my visions are, never forget the Draconis who created these worlds, okay, will not allow the reptilians to survive. but they are not allowed to interfere with the human's affair. Unlike the reptilians who are completely non-law obedient, they don't care. They don't care. They do what the hell they want. So at the end, we will always survive somewhere, somehow. That's what I want to make sure you understand. Okay, and in the process, we have to learn a lot of things. We are not smart enough to learn by reading. We have to suffer. That's why, as human beings, we have senses. We feel emotionally, physically, because you're in hell. You ain't gonna go to hell. This is it, and it's the only way you're gonna learn with pain, emotional or physical. All right, now what else do we have? 2 dead in Wisconsin gas station shooting. Shooter viciously executed a man pumping gas. Now, Jesus, have mercy. How many times I have told you? Okay, policing will become so very dangerous that many brave servants will quit, and the number of cops getting killed or killing citizens will explode in the months to come. Okay, remember what I said. Infected criminals will get bolder and wilder, committing crimes against the police and the public never experienced before. The reptilians are after the police, the government official, and the children, the teens. Up to 30% of children infected will develop long-haul COVID, experts are saying. I mean, how can I deny my words when you see the news later on taking place right in your face? You know, if you think you're going to get COVID and escape its variant, for example, good luck to you. This is very serious. The reptilians do not want Earth on this really special, very, very rare piece of real estate we call Earth. They don't want Earth here. They want it. And by infecting young mothers, drugs, alcohol, pot, God knows what, the goodies of the reptilians. That's why during this time with so much depression, people are going insane with drugs. They don't want to be here. They're so depressed. It's so difficult. It's so hard to be on hell. So those women are going to have kids. Those kids are going to be infected. They're already infected with COVID. Remember, COVID is the product of the scientists who were infected by the reptilians to create negative virus or destructive technology. While the draconians are doing totally the opposite, stimulating the mind of our scientists to create marvelous technology that will get your eyes, your head, your heart fixed. Understand the laws between the good and bad, light and darkness, good and evil, God, devil. Understand the energy. You cannot be with any of those. You cannot walk around with one leg. Which side do you want to be? Which side are you going to work for? That is your choice, your free will. I repeat myself for good reason. What else do we have that's dramatic and deadly? Popular influencers plummet to death while snapping a selfie. That's insane. How many human beings have died so far because of their egocentric, self-centered attitudes? Oh, I'm beautiful. Everybody's going to think I'm beautiful. They need to hear they're pretty, they are smart, they're beautiful. They need to have all those hits because it's the way for them to regenerate, to have fame and to be appreciated, build their self-esteem. But the reptilians are there. She does this during my window. See what happened to her. She died. Mostly because she's not aware of a personal negative window. Believe me, there are going to be days when you're going to get up, you wish you never get up. First thing you do is have a bad telephone call. Then you're going to blow up and tire. Next thing you know, you're going to have a cop stopping you, giving a huge citation. Then you're going to get all sorts of, you're going to get fired. God knows what. There are days, my gosh, I should have stayed in bed today. That's called a negative cosmic biorhythm. So when you have your own negative dragon on your stars, cursing you, and you're mingling with the universal dragon on negative side, you're lucky if you're going to make it. That's why people die every single day, because they are not cosmic conscious. Another wasted young life. Now, for years, trying to make society of a group of nefarious extraterrestrials, okay, the reptilians, who endlessly hijack the body, the mind, and soul of politicians, the police, teens, or most of all, the weakest member of our society. Now we have this guy here, teen charged with terrorism discussed using pipe bomb at Phoenix Pride Parade. This guy is 14 years old. 14 years old. Remember, the reptilians are of the children. They're very vulnerable. Now, this kid, obviously, is a Neptunian born. Oh, what is a Neptunian, Dr. Cherry? Well, you have a link. Just click on the link if you don't know what is a Neptunian. Take 5 minutes to learn. Maybe you are a Neptunian. That is, if you're a pothead, if you're a drunk, or if you're a religious fanatic, like this kid. Now, this religious kid has been infected, indoctrinated since childhood, and he had the stars already to become a religious fanatic. So that also affects his entire family for centuries. Okay. Now, sending this 14-year-old to jail to fix a problem like this, as I said in the newsletter, is pretty much like using a Band-Aid to fix a Japanese samurai who just committed a harakiri. Since Neptune is the lord of deception, he rules over ISIS, the Middle East, the Taliban, religion, drugs, and all upon places of confinement. You're talking about churches, synagogue, temple, jail, prison, cuckoo farm, etc. Now, this kid used a name that should have been a red light, slave of Allah, 786, right there. What does a 14-year-old knows? My God, he's just arrived in the world and he's already completely and entirely poisoned by the reptilians. Sign him to jail. That's where you have all the reptilians concentrated who kill you for a cigarette or for drugs or rape these poor kids. And then he's going to become more infected in the process. And then, you know, in case you do not know, 95% of convicts, all of them, 95% is a hell of a lot of numbers, okay? They will find God while incarcerated because that's a Neptune confined, deceptive, drug, lying, cheating environment run by the reptilians. Now, looking at the tail of the dragon of this kid, he's 14 years old, so I did my math. He was born with a Sagittarius dragon's tail. Now, Sagittarius shows the codification of thought, the books, the Bible, the Quran. So it was very easy for the reptilians to manipulate this kid. It was totally immature. He always wanted to, he dreamed of being a martyr. Okay, he wanted to die for Allah. And in the process, commit horrible crime against what he perceived as the infidel us. You're going to send this kid to jail. Do you think that's going to fix the situation? No, what would fix the situation is if you click in the world of Sagittarius and read the words of this sign. Remember, every sign is both positive and negative. There is a good fish, Einstein, Michelangelo, George Washington, Dr. Cherry, Lady Gaga, artistic, creative, singing, dancing. And then you have the negative fish, Osama bin Laden, Joel Osteen, Reverend John, David Koresh, the negative fish, religion, deception, who poisoned over 1,000 Christians with Kool-Aid in a remote island, Pisces rules, exotic place. Man, you need to educate yourself and pass it on to your kids. The question remains, you know, how many of you are going to be curious enough to click on the link and read my book, The Power of the Dragon, to understand how this dragon is blessing or cursing your life, or why this dragon led someone like Hitler to do what he did, or Dahmer to eat people. Man, what's wrong with humanity to spend time on TikTok instead of raising their psychical vibration and understanding themselves and understanding the world and others, so we can control the outcome. I just don't understand. Humans are so lazy up here, but that's how it works. What else do we have? That nasty and deadly disturbing video shows the Taliban executing 22 Afghan commandos. What do you think it is? It's nothing else than a religious war that started 2,000 years ago, induced by the reptilians who created so many different religions instead of the initial Jesus cosmic ministry, which is directly related to astrology. And remember, during those days, okay, only the church, the clergy had the pen, the paper, the education, the know-how, and they wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls loaded with astrological relics and UFOs, but you ain't gonna see those. You're not gonna see those. They're buried in the 75 miles of the secret library. I told you before, Google Dr. Thury, Pope Francis, see all the popes being taught astrology by the Vatican Council, see the dragon, see all the signs. Do it. Google Pope Francis, Dr. Thury. And then you will maybe think, oh, why the church says, oh, don't talk to Dr. Thury. He's the devil. I'm not the devil. I'm here to bring you the light. That is if you're ready, okay? It's only when the student or the client is ready that they will knock at my door. Until then, good luck to you. Now, back in October, I'm sure you remember, 2019, I warned George. I said, George, you know, this is going to be fire, nature and animals burning. 2 weeks later, okay, when I say it's going to be wind and fire, 2 weeks later, there goes the Australian fire, or Arizona, California, killing so many people, so many animals, destroying so much of nature. But you're going to say, oh, well, I heard that, Dr. Thury, but you're not the only one. There is new people coming all the time here. So if I sound redundant, you know, understand where you are and where a newcomer is when you first arrived. So if you find me repetitive, well, there is a reason for it. So what's interesting, right now we have wildfire that spread across almost 1 million miles of drought streak in the US. And they are sending idiots 50 miles above the earth. Wait a minute here. Don't you think this money should be used to reforest, for trees, for nature, or helping a poor person who can barely survive? Now, let's waste a few $1 billion out there and have a kick. Can afford it, I'm rich. And then I'm going to bring all my rich friends out there, because you ain't going to go there. Believe me, you won't go there. You can't afford a few $1 million to go to get to sit there. And if for some reason the scientific community with their logical mind, they already know we are doomed. They already know in their mind, of course. They don't know nothing about the Draconis protecting this world as the protector, the gardeners of this world. They know nothing. So they already think we need to go. We need to get out of here. We need to go. We need to go. And believe me, if, let's say, imagine in their mind, they build those rockets and they go to Mars, of course, it would never happen. Be sure your grandchildren, if we make it the next 40 years or so, will never go there. They will only take their kind because they are smarter than you are, richer than you are, and they have a spiritual, educated pride bigger than Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system. You're not part of this clan of rich and educated. You're disposable, like me. Remember that. So, another thing, back in 1995, that's a long time ago, in my first ever appearance on Coast to Coast with Art Bell, I knew the evil of religion was and will still curse the world. And then you can see that show with Art Bell is still on YouTube. And then you have the link, click on it, see what Art Bell says. What, Dr. Thury? A religious war? Yes, I said be ready for a religious war with the United States in the Middle East. That was before Osama bin Laden, before 9/11, before all the hell that we are going through. Because all that is Jesus' cosmic ministry was taken away from us. All that is the divine creation of God is being ridiculed, cast aside, put away. So now the scientists think they're going to fix everything with their mathematics and take a man on Mars. Give me a break. Or the religious fanatic thinks they're going to use the Bible or the Quran to save planet Earth and humans. No. No. It is all within the stars. It's all written in light. Again, you know what? Unless divine astrology or Jesus' initial cosmic ministries we established and taught in all our college university like he used to do, an endless chain of religious poison soul will again try killing others and themselves. Mass shooting and suicide will never stop, and sad enough, it can only increase dramatically in the months to come. We are at a very, very, very dangerous time in the United States, not only on the political front. Thank you, Mr. Trump, for your very negative stars, Gemini stars, you know, male, female, yin and yang, who has divided America. When you elect a president, you have to suffer his idiosyncrasy. You have to suffer his fate. You have to suffer his stars. Trump's stars were absolutely terrible for the United States. He has a curse with foreigners in foreign land. That's why he fell in love with King Jong-un. That's why he let Putin lie to him and accept it. That's why we are where we are, because of a president's stars, and he has nothing to do with politics. Please don't kill the messengers. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you are a Democrat. I don't care if you like steak or if you're a vegetarian. Okay? I don't care about your emotional, political, deep views and values. I'm freaking French and I'm an astrologer. I can't freaking vote, and I'm helping you to understand a little bit more than what your 5 limited human rational senses can barely digest. So leave me alone with your political stuff. Now we have elected another president. Biden, he's a Scorpio. If you think we had some problem with Trump, be ready. Now we have a president that his signature is all about life and death and rebirthing. Okay, so you talk about dramatic news, death, and his tail of the dragon is in Aquarius. Aquarius rules anything to do with nukes, Japan, earthquakes, sudden release of energy, tornado, volcano. This way Japan has so much earthquakes and volcano. And that's why Nagasaki and Hiroshima are the only 2 cities in the world who have experienced the worst of the worst of Aquarius, because Aquarius rules nukes. Hello? Maybe you're going to start to pay attention. This doesn't mean we're doomed. Again, regardless of what I said, the part of God in us is much stronger than the stars. But if you do not know about your stars, if you don't realize that you may be 150% related to your family genetically only, but you're never going to think, create, or behave the same way than your mom, your dad, your brother, your sisters, in other words, your closest family member, excuse me, will be your biggest stranger, because you don't have the same stars. Hello? It's all within the stars. And instead of spending billions and billions of dollars, give me some, so I can start to build my astro-psychological school and give a reason for those children to stay alive. Because teaching them geometry, geology, science, the arts, languages, teaching them anything that is going to lead them to a wonderful career is wonderful. But who the hell is the one who are going to teach your children who they are, where they came from, what they are supposed to do as imposed by God, cosmic design, and who's going to tell them about those nasty reptilians who could lead them to befriend someone who are going to lead them into smoking or drinking or doing stupid things. Oh no, you have a church in every corner, especially in the richest area, like in Sedona. Every block you have a church of different denomination. Where is my school for your kids? Is the world gone the wrong way? Is the world gone too far the wrong way? Should I give up? Or is there still any hopes? I'm going to be blamed for negativity, for bringing you the truth, the undiluted, vexing truth. I'm going to be kicked out of every places because people don't get it. But that's the way it is. I ain't going to stop fighting for you, my good friends. I'm not going to stop fighting for as long as I live. Oh, I might go, sometime and retire for good in Florida and raise my price to $1,000 so that I can enjoy the last few years of my life on my boat. Okay. But I don't think I would ever quit. I will always be there. I'm like a rock for you, where you can understand things that are not going to be taught in your college, university, or a church, where millions and billions of people are running every day, feeding the reptilians and being deceived. Oh my gosh, Jesus didn't have the Bible in mind 2,000 years ago when he wanted to introduce humanity to our Father in the heavens. What he had was astrology. And you've been taking the biggest ride ever by the Vatican, by all those well-organized, wealthy corporation. The Vatican is a corporation. You've been taken for a ride by power, by shame, by evil, by negativity. And here I am as a beacon of light trying to help you. I hope you can recognize that, because I really mean it. That's why, one more time, I'm asking you, when you're done listening to me, remember, go back to my newsletter, as I'm going to post more of this news. Click on the link. See, being some woman, click on the link. Help me to reinstate my movie on Amazon Prime, so that a lot of kids out there who land on me by accident, knowing there is no accident, we find the grounding they so desperately need to stay alive and understand what's going on above their head. This world's gone too physical, too rational, too scientific, too AI, artificial intelligence, like the reptilians. Is that where you want to be? A computer that is constantly regenerating and reprogramming itself, looking for the answers of what it means to feel, to think, to create, to be a human being. Is that what you want? Do you want to lose your identity as a human being? I'm going to let that happen. I'm going to help you. Until then, hey, we're done today. I don't want to be too dramatic, so be careful again, okay? Share my newsletter. Help me to save precious life. Careful what you do. Careful what you say. A lot of people are going to lose their job. A lot of people won't make it. Stay clear from large gathering. Pay attention to everything, and let's hope this negative cosmic winds, dramatic daily cosmic wind, is not in conjunction with one of your own negative cosmic biorhythm before. If that happened and you don't know, you're going to be part of the statistic and you won't make it. Until then, let's hope your God, whomever you believe, will take care of you, because I do all I can to take care of you my way. God bless all of you. Bye-bye. See you again.